Good morning from the Rio Grande Valley here in Texas. The cold front has finally moved through here. We had 84 degrees day before yesterday, 87 yesterday, and today when I woke up it was 44. It's supposed to get up to 60 and then be in the 50s this week, but nothing like we've had at home in Kansas with ice and sleet and snow. I made it out just in time, but it's still going to be a beautiful sunny day here. I'll probably spend most of my day in the camper. I don't have my internet up yet, so I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been doing some sewing. I've made some coffee this morning, and I thought I would give you a quick tour. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. And right now I'm spending the winter in my RV in the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas. I normally live in Kansas. I have Frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year in 2025 as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. This is my office area where I do a lot of my book work and my filming. My bathroom is in here. I also use it for storage in the bathtub because I do use the facilities here. RV bathtubs are very small and their showers are very small. So a lot of us with RVs will use facilities when they are available. I also have a hand sink here. I have ample storage here. I have my refrigerator and my freezer, and I brought a lot of food with me, as I told you. So I keep everything in here, including the cat food, because there are ants down here that we have to be careful about. So I make sure everything is stored really airtight. I brought lots of food with me from home, packages that were open and things like that. So lots and lots of storage things. I have window coverings that go over my shades at night. As you see, you can see through these shades. They're more of a sunscreen. More storage. I have another bed behind here. I have a chair to relax in here. This is where I usually sleep here. It's just easier for me than trying to climb up there. And then I have the kitchen area, which is pretty big. It's definitely big enough for what I need. So yeah, this is my RV. It's about 28 feet long, and these older models hold up better than the newer ones. It's a 1996, but it's built a lot sturdier. And you'll hear a lot of things about RVs and how they just fall apart in the wind and all of that. This one is really sturdy. So sometimes these older things are just built to last better. So today I thought we would talk a little bit about winter gardening. I garden in the summer, and when it gets to be freezing temperatures, I move everything into the house to a south window with a lot of sun, and I grow it through the winter. And then when it gets to be warmer temperatures, I transplant it outside again, and the cycle goes on. So when I came down here to Texas, I already had transplanted my food that I could grow through the winter into the house, and I just brought that with me. I brought celery, 3 Swiss chard plants. I brought onions and green peppers. Now my celery's having a little bit of a hard transition, going from 22-degree weather when I left to 74-degree weather when I got here, and it's had some wilting, but it will come back and it will be okay. But there's lots of things that we can grow like that. I've had 2 Swiss chard salads already since I've got here to Texas, and it's so nice to go right outside, pick it fresh, and not have to buy it from the grocery store. So that saves me money. Plus, sometimes my refrigerator here likes to freeze lettuce, so that solves that problem as well. So I have some items that were new to me this year. Swiss chard was new to me, and I have found that it is really hard to kill. Swiss chard can get clear down to 20 degrees at night and it can still thrive. And even though my husband didn't care for Swiss chard too much, and I've been having to eat it all myself, it is a very hardy plant and an easy one to grow, and easy to grow in your house and easy to grow through the winter. So there is an alternative to lettuce if you're interested in that. As long as you pick the stems and the leaves when they're young and tender, they're very, very similar to lettuce and celery. So I also have my two huge celery plants that I brought with me. I've already had to trim them back multiple days and freeze them because of the wind. The wind broke a few stems, but it's large enough that I have to do that 2 or 3 times a week anyway. So bringing my celery is something that I can throw into my soups and my stews, and I will be making some split pea soup later this week because it's going to be in the 40s a couple of days down here. But I don't want to complain because Kansas has had some very, very cold temperatures. So having 40s is still way better than that. And once January is over, the temperatures will get a lot warmer again. So I'm fine riding out a week of 40s, 50s, and 60s down here. So I try to grow what I know I can grow that's easy to grow. And for everybody, that might be different. But for me, growing things like the green peppers, we bring them in the wintertime. They may make 1 or 2 small peppers, but that makes their time when you put them out in your yard already going so that they will produce quicker and they will be hardier. So we keep them going all year round. And then we have a joke that one of our cats needs plants for her mental health. She has her own water dish on the plant stand that you've seen in some of my videos at home, and she loves getting up there and drinking her water. I was going to bring some of my succulents with me, but when I started loading the plants, she got very upset because she was staying at home with my husband and her plants were leaving. So I had to leave a couple of those at home for my husband to water so that she has plants. So plants are a good thing when it comes to having some greenery in the wintertime. It makes you feel like everything isn't just dead. I know in Kansas, sometimes I would have the tendency to get kind of depressed in the winter when the trees are bare and the grass is dead, and I just needed to see something green and alive. And having produce in my house during the winter has really helped with that. It helps me stay more positive. It helps me feel like everything around me is not dead and barren right now. And I just really love having some greenery in my house that's alive. It also gives me something to look forward to doing every day. I look forward to watching my stuff grow. I look forward to harvesting it. And I do that here as well. Yesterday, I spent a long time putting water on all of my plants, trimming back things, and those are tasks that I do every day, whether I'm here or I'm at home. And working with those plants, it does my mental health good. So plants can be more than just pretty, and they can be more than just food. They can also turn into a hobby, and they can also help us so that we are not depressed and so that we have something to look after, especially if we're empty nesters. Sometimes we have that desire to look after something, and pets can fulfill that role, but plants also can. I also will be looking at what I want to grow once I get home. I will start planning my summer garden even from here in Texas. One of the things I want to try to grow this summer are parsnips. I haven't been super successful with carrots. I used to be able to grow those when I was a child, but these last couple of years, I haven't produced 1 carrot, and they're supposed to be one of the easier things to grow. So just because something is easy to grow doesn't necessarily mean that you or I are able to do it. So experiment with some of the different produce and see what you can grow. I really do not mess with flowers much anymore. I do like flowers. I do have some that come back every year, but I concentrate on vegetables and producing food right now. I'm a frugal person and I want to be able to add fresh produce to our house that I don't have to buy from the grocery store. So I look at some things like what will save me the most money? What do we eat the most of? We eat a lot of tomatoes, and we also will eat squash, zucchini, cucumbers. So those are some of the things that I grew this summer. And I also like to look at what tastes better if I grow it myself. Sometimes you go to the store and some of those things just do not have a good flavor. We see that in oranges, we see that in apples, and it's the same with a lot of other produce. So I like to grow tomato plants. If you have ever had a fresh tomato off the vine, it just bursts in your mouth and tastes so much more flavorful than the ones that you will buy in the store. And you'll find that with many other things. For instance, my celery with the leaves. I never knew celery leaves were crunchy until I started growing it myself. The ones in the store are limp and soft, and yes, you can still use them, but when you grow them yourself, they are crunchy because they are so fresh. So that just shows the difference between growing something yourself and getting it at the grocery store and it being stored and packed and made to last longer for someone to be able to purchase wherever it's going. And being able to go out and just trim those off and use them immediately versus going to the store and buying them and then trying to get it used up before it goes bad. I can use it as I grow it, and I don't have to worry about losing produce because I've purchased it and I haven't got to it yet. So since I've been down here, I have not spent anything. I tell myself every day I have what I need. I have plenty of food. I have everything that I need. I don't need to go to the grocery store. So I'm pushing myself to not buy as long as I possibly can. I laid in bed the other night and thought about how many different meals I brought with me. And just laying there thinking about it, I came up with like 38. And I know there are a bunch more than that. So even if I went to the store and bought a few small things like eggs or bread, I could push what I had into even more meals by combining some of those items with the milk and the bread. So sometimes we overbuy, and I have a tendency to do that. And being here last year in the camper really opened my eyes to how much I was overbuying at home for just the two of us. And so this year, since it's just me again, my husband has chose to stay home and to stay working. I am going to be trying to see how long I can go without buying extra stuff and how little I can buy while I'm down here. And I'm doing this just for fun. It's not out of necessity. Extra money definitely will help because I did have to get a little out of my savings last year. But for me and for many of you, I find frugality fun. And I find little challenges that I set for myself like this fun. And I can't tell you the joy that I get from going outside, cutting my Swiss chard, making my own salad, eating it for lunch, and knowing that I didn't spend any money on gas or on food by going to the grocery store. I could do it right outside my camper. How convenient is that? Now, I'm very blessed because we brought my car down and I use my car for transportation. One of the people on one side, they have a moped that they use. Of course, it is going to rain sometimes, so that will affect whether or not they want to go to the store that day. The lady on the other side drove herself down from Canada and does not have a car. And she has a motorhome very similar to me, maybe a couple of feet shorter. And so she tries to push back her shopping to every 2 to 3 weeks, and she tries to get by because she has to unhook her electric, her water, her sewer, and put all of those hoses and cords away just so she can go to the grocery store to get some things to last another 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm very blessed that I have my car down here. My husband helps me get down here and helps me get home. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate his support in helping me do this, because it would be very difficult, like the lady next door, if I did it by myself. And I might very well be down here without a car as well. So doing some of these things allows me to have the life that I want. Not only do I spend less, but I get to enjoy my plants. I get a reward every time I go out and see them grow, and I'm able to pick things, and I'm able to eat what is out there rather than purchasing it. I know it's fresher. I know it's healthier. It has more vitamins because it hasn't been stored and packed away and transported. So think about having a winter garden. Maybe just start with something small like green onions and watch them grow, and then pick your own things and add them to your food as you're cooking. And think about how much time it is saving you to have your produce right there that you can pick and add to your food. I hope this video has inspired you to try growing something in your home this winter. Let me know what you think. I hope to see you in the next video. Please give me a big thumbs up, and I hope to see you soon.